Welcome back to the channel. The courtroom was filled with silence, yet the silence was heavy, the kind that carries tension, fear, and hope all at once. Every eyes turned toward one man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as he was escorted in by security officers. He looked calm, composed, yet his face told a different story. The story of a man who has been endured years of suffering behind bars. This is not an ordinary court session. This is a fight for survival. Today, October 8, 2025, the court will decide one question that could change everything. Will Nnamdi Kanu finally get access to real medical treatment, or will the government continue to gamble with his life? His lawyers are armed with new evidence, a full report from a professional medical team appointed by the court itself, a report that may expose the truth the DSS doesn't want the world to see. Before we go deep, make sure you like, comment, and share this video. And if you stand for truth and justice, subscribe right now, because what is unfolding today could redefine the future of justice in Nigeria and determine whether Kanu lives or dies in detention. Why today's hearing is different. Today's case goes beyond politics, beyond accusation, and beyond Biafra. It is about earth, humanity, and survival. For months, Kanu's lawyer have cried out about his health. They warned the court that the DSS were refusing him for proper medical. Even after multiple court orders, they said he was battling ear complication, heart strain, and other conditions that require specialist attention. After constant pressure, the court finally ordered an independent medical team, not DSS doctor, to examine him thoroughly. This was not a favor, it was a matter of law and human rights. That team has now completed its work. Their detailed medical report was recently submitted to the Ministry of Justice, and that single document, the report, is now the center of today's drama. What does it contain? Does it confirm the neglect the defense has been shouting about, or will it give the DSS an excuse to say everything is fine? Whatever it says, today's session will test whether Nigeria's court are still strong enough to defend truth, or whether power and propaganda will once again silence justice. The question is clear. Will the truth be respected today, or will delay win again? How we got here? To truly understand the weight of this hearing, we must go back to the beginning. Since his extraordinary redemption from Kenya in 2021, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has remained in DSS custody, isolated, restricted, and surrounded by heavy security over time. Reports of his worsening health began to spread. His lawyers filed several applications for medical attention. Each time the DSS said the same thing: he is fine, he is under care. But his family told a different story. His brother Emmanuel Kanu revealed to journalists that his condition was critical, his hearing was failing, his energy was draining, and his physical appearance has changed drastically. That was when the court finally intervened. A neutral medical team was appointed for the first time in years. Someone outside the DSS examined him properly. And now, months later, that decision has brought us to this day, October 8, 2025, the day the truth inside that report made the power that has tried to hide it. Inside the courtroom, by 9:30 a.m., the courtroom was already packed. The tension was thick. Journalists, activists, diplomats, and human rights observers all filled the seat. Nnamdi Kanu's legal team arrived early. Their faces serious and determined across the courtroom. Government lawyers sat guiding files and whispering among themselves. When Kanu was brought in, the entire atmosphere changed. Some supporters quietly wept. Others whispered prayer. God, please let the truth win today.
You see, The ongoing trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continues to expose the inconsistencies and the manipulations in the Nigerian legal system.
Corruption.
Now, as you all know, recently, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu filed a no-case submission in his ongoing terrorism trial, but it was struck out by the judge, Justice Omotosho, a few days ago.
For what?
Now, when this judgment was delivered, I did not say anything immediately because I needed to study certain details. Some people were even saying that MC Jollof has stopped talking about the case, but I did not stop. I just needed to get my facts right.
You get it?
Now, to start with, what is a no-case submission? A no-case submission is a legal argument where an accused person pleads with the judge to dismiss a case on the grounds that the prosecutors have not been able to supply enough evidence to sustain a trial.
Continue.
Now, if the judge agrees with the no-case submission, it simply means he can discharge and acquit the case. But if he dismisses it, it simply means the trial will continue. And in this case, he dismissed it, which means the trial will continue. And the question is, did the judge make the right decision by dismissing this application, or is he willingly trying to prolong the trial?
That is good.
Now, I am not in any position to judge the judge, but I am going to take you all to the Nigerian law. Let's see what the Nigerian law says concerning an issue like this.
Okay.
According to the Administration of Criminal Justice Act of 2015, Section 303, subsection 3, it says that when an accused makes a no-case submission, the judge is going to consider these certain points. Number one, has any element of the case been proven? Number two, is there any evidence linking the accused to the commission of the offense? Number three, is there any evidence suitable enough for a reasonable court to convict on? And number four, is there any other ground to establish a reasonable case? If the answer to these questions is a no, the Constitution empowers the judge to discharge and acquit the case.
You get it?
This provision of the law was written in simple English that even a woman selling okpa in the market will understand it.
You don't know.
And if you ask me, have the federal government of Nigeria been able to produce enough evidence linking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to any act of terrorism? The answer is a capital no, to the best of my knowledge, because I have been following the case. I have seen witnesses in oath saying that they don't know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they have never met him before, that they are seeing him for the first time in court.
Hell.
The witnesses or prosecutors have not been able to tender any detailed investigation in evidence since this case started.
Funny people.
They have not been able to tender any bomb, any gun, any bullet, even a catapult that they say they retrieved from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only thing they have tendered in evidence are broadcasts that they downloaded from the internet in 2025 for an offense that they said he committed in 2015.
What?
So, for the judge to dismiss the no-case submission, is either he does not understand simple English, or he does not understand the law that he swore to uphold, or probably somebody is telling him what to do.
70 years old man.
Meanwhile, I also learned that the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2013, on which this case was built on, is no longer an active law in Nigeria. That the law has been repealed and replaced by something else. So how do you continue trial on a law that no longer exists?
Hell.
Or am I missing anything?
Wonder.
See, if somebody explains Nigerian law to you and you understand it, just know that the person that explained it did not explain it very well.
Hey!
Getting no lawlessness we are.
Hey!
Are you still fighting the struggle to have independence for Biafra? We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets. We are fighting in terms of our agitation. We are fighting in terms of our belief. We're fighting in terms of our consistency to ensure that we are free, because we're not free. As a free people, we can afford to make life better for our people. Right now, we can't do that because of how Nigeria is structured and because of the very flawed foundations upon which Nigeria rests.
You called for a referendum latest this year, November, you said, I think. If that doesn't happen, what's the way forward? Because the way it looks like the government will definitely not agree to that.
Then there'll be no elections in Biafra land. No more elections here. They can put whoever they like in office. They can do whatever they like with their political positions. We will not engage in any political process.
You said it's a peaceful struggle, but there are some videos of you appearing in the past, especially abroad, in particular in one conference in the US, where you said you need weapons to defend yourself, you need guns and ammunition. How can we understand that in the context that you're saying it's a peaceful struggle?
I'm sure you've heard about the Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. Have you heard about it? Of course. Exactly. So how do you intend to defend yourself against Fulani headsmen without guns and bullets? They've been killing our people, raping our women, destroying crops in the farms, and no one does anything about it. Is that how human beings are supposed to live?
So, and you have the right to arm yourself and defend yourself with arms in that context?
Self-defense is recognized even by all the known laws of the UN. Is that not correct? We have the right. If somebody were to barge into this very interview and are wielding a machete or an AK-47, are you suggesting we should let them get away with it?
You were detained for almost 2 years, from 2015 on, and actually there was no trial. No trial ever happened, and despite several court rulings that said you were supposed to be released, you were not released. Yes. Do you think you were treated in a fair way by the government? Or rather also by the justice system? No,
not fairly, because Nigeria is not a civilized country. People behave like animals. They are not reasonable enough. They're not disciplined enough. They are not mentally developed enough to run a transparent civil society. For them, they have a feudal mindset where you have the ruling class and, a multitude of poverty-stricken people who never utters any word in rebellion or to even ask questions about their plight. That is one thing we are determined to challenge.
Don't you think you insult a lot of Nigerians with that?
I'm being very kind, to be honest. I could have used far more harsher words to describe them. I'm being very kind.
So generally you don't think very positive of your countrymen then, obviously?
They are not... When you say positive, no, as individuals, perhaps there are a few good people amongst them, but as a collective, this is an absolute mess. And you can see for yourself. Didn't you go through the roads and see how horrible they are? Didn't you see how unkempt everywhere is? How filthy and dirty everywhere is? That is the product of a Nigerian system that is uniquely backwards, even by the very third world standards of Black Africa. That's the fact, and people must face up to it.
Well, I traveled in the north quite extensively, and I went to very remote areas sometimes where you would still find Igbo people living there, peaceful together with communities in the north. Don't you sometimes think that you might endanger their peaceful coexistence with the communities there, that they might get into trouble with that?
So if they're living so peacefully together, or cohabiting so peacefully as you put it, how come you hear about all those uprisings in the north where Southern Christians are being slaughtered and nothing gets done about it? Are you telling me that that is normal? People are in the north out of a dire need, necessity more or less, to try and survive, because here the entire production process has been emasculated by people and policies that are geared towards ensuring that our people exist in perpetual state of poverty, and that is unacceptable to us. What we're asking the world to recognize is that we want to live in peace, not in pieces. We want to live in peace, just to allow us to be. Allow Biafra to exist. We were existing before the British came. Just allow us to go back to, what we were before. No African came to Europe to create countries. So for somebody to just come in here and say, you, from today your name is Nigeria, is simply laughable.